so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
man, the king, the god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies vs. the World is a podcast. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution. Within the fans to unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World. 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right here.
I'm A.W. Barrows.
Numero uno.
Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to the Blvd Bullies holiday episode. Christmas in July. Happy 420. And it's our final episode you'll ever see in your entire goddamn lives. I am your host, PK with the BLVD. And I am joined by 2 out of 3 co-hosts. Breaking news coming soon. First and foremost, last but not first, but not last, but not least, we got legendary ring announcer, 20 years in the game, cha-ching, Ring of Honor, CZW, MCW. You keep naming. That's all I got. That's all I got.
NYWC, GCW, ICW, XPW, Crimson Crowd Wrestling. Yours truly, Larry motherfucking Legend.
You know, it's about time that you use your excellent ring announcing prowess to announce yourself. I've been botching it for weeks and months now. Thank you, Larry. Everybody give it up for Larry. And we have our resident merch guy, the administrator, the Jew with the Santa hat, One Punch Bri, the Bad Take merch guy in the head.
Ho, 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 motherfuckers.
Ho,
How y'all
ho,
doing?
ho. Everybody, tip your glasses. I couldn't find a Santa hat, so I just have this Santa mug.
My wine is red.
It's very Christmassy. I made my light green.
Made your light screen. Desert Eagle, Desert Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Desert Eagle, Desert Eagle.
How you guys doing? It feels like an oddly long amount of time since the last stream. I know it's just been weekly, but I feel like it's been forever since we've done this show. Is that weird?
Oh, you miss us.
I miss you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we're really riding that high of the Blvd Bullies backyard barbecue bonanza, barbed wire baptism of death, no ring match.
No ring match.
We're still riding that. You know, last week's episode is if we were together because we were watching footage of us together. So indeed we did. It's only right that after being together to create it, after viewing it together as a collective, that you're feeling a little bit of loss. I'm feeling it too.
I was feeling a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of loss. And by the way, speaking of the holiday episode, we got gifts. Christmas in July, we got gifts. The first gift is actually, in regards to what you just said, Larry, the first gift is immediately following this episode, 9:15 p.m., I have scheduled, I've never done this before, it might be a huge botch, but I've scheduled the Blvd Bullies live video premiere of what we premiered last week.
Without us talking,
without, like, you know, because it's like a 20-minute cinematic masterpiece of a match, of a grudge match, 3 years in the making. Brian, Bad Take, Ginsburg's champion Tarzan Man Duran versus Kid Osborne and his BMW and his little red pants. Well, he doesn't wear red pants in this. Anyway, I digress. The only way to have watched that before this week is to have sifted through our 2-hour-long show and found this little 20-minute clip, both in the middle and afterwards. But now, at 9:15, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, motherfuckers! You will be able to premiere just the video, standalone. And if I didn't fuck it
Not
up...
standalone wrestling.
If I didn't fuck it up, you'll be able to watch it, and I will be in the chat on YouTube, and we can talk about it. Are you sure? Because you guys usually need dinner at 9:10.
We get
This
hungry.
is my dinner, Pat.
We don't have to be vocal. We could just watch our phones.
You know, it's one thing. It's one thing to be so much of an alcoholic that you buy the 24-ounce. You know, it's like if you're gonna choose a Four Loko or a 9% beer from 7-Eleven or a Natty Daddy or a Steel Reserve, it means that you are broke and you are an alcoholic. And you need to accentuate and get the most out of your $4, right? Well, guess what, guys? For you two, my decent, loving brothers, and for everybody watching at home, I have a new strategy even beyond that. Don't eat. Just don't eat.
Yeah. It's the sailor's way.
If you want to accentuate your percentages in your belly, just don't eat.
I stand by that, Pat. It's a life hack.
Life hack. Don't
You're gonna
eat.
hurt your little stomachs, guys. You guys are gonna feel awful.
Goes right
if
to
you're
your
an
liver.
Alcoholic, Brian. If you're an alcoholic, you're too far gone.
Yeah, but then you need to put some food in your belly so you don't get like ulcers.
Well, you know,
the ulcers fuck you up, dude.
Belly,
you feel
the only food I need in my belly is a juicy hot dog, and I'll take that in my belly from the backside. Thank you very much.
Yo, and you know what? If you got like pathetic, poor 5% Coors Lights at home, well, just don't eat. Those guys go up to the fucking 15%.
These Miller Lights.
Miller High Life.
4%.
Brian, did you get the Dollar General version of Modelo?
I went to the beach and my Puerto Rican friend brought these Modelas.
Medea. Right. Yeah. Can you show the can again? That's like America's Choice Modelo.
Right.
Mexico's Choice.
Is it Mexican?
I don't know. You tell me. You said.
Is it a cerveza? That's just Mexican for beer.
Hey.
I knew that.
Blvd Bullies goes international. It's Christmas in July. You know who gave us the idea for Christmas in July and instituted it? Conspicuous by his absence, Ringside Sean.
Maybe he's Santa.
Do you think that he's Santa?
Ho.
Well, if he is, I think that he's a piece of shit. You know, Santa's a piece of shit. Santa is a piece of shit.
Whoa. Brian.
Hey.
Well, before you talk about Santa being a piece of shit, I would just want to talk about Sean, who is not Santa. A lot of viewers probably who have watched last week's episode, they realized that Sean got a text from a professional assassin. And you'd think maybe
like
this week he's not on the show. A lot of people asking, did Sean get murdered by an assassin? Did he get ass-inated? But no, he's just helping out Santa. See, this last week of July, this is the Christmas in July, and it wasn't invented by the Hallmark Channel. It was invented by Santa Claus because July, the end of July, that's the final push for like getting the real work in to build all the toys for Christmas, Brian. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So what you're saying is that right now Santa is working triple time.
It's a triple time thing because, you know, little known fact, right around Labor Day, takes a little vacation before the final push. So this is the second to final push halfway through Christmas in July, presented by Ringside Sean, who did not get murdered by an assassin who texted him. He got texted hours later by Santa saying, hey, come on up to the North Pole. I need your help. You're a huge figures guy. Help me build these figures.
Santa's
Indeed.
one of the greatest lies ever told.
Oh, Santa's a master liar. That's what he does for a living.
Santa. I was gonna say Santa. What's your beef with Brian? But what I mean is, Brian, what is your beef with Santa? Why
you know, it's not so much Santa as much as it's the parents who teach their children about Santa. Because the whole ploy is just to have your child be good all year. So you lie to your children. You lie to your children to have them be good, so they get a nice gift from Santa. And it's bullshit. You build up these kids' dreams and then you smash them. It's like religion.
Brian,
my problem is that we don't give enough emphasis to Krampus. Like, who comes when you're not good? I never heard about someone that was going to do harm to me if I wasn't good. All I heard about was all of these gifts that I would get from this jolly man if I was.
Yeah, but if you weren't good, the jolly man, he gives you coal.
Either way, it's manipulation.
He gives you coal, but you know what? I'll throw that coal. I'll be bad with that coal. I'll mark the Catholic school up.
Oh,
Krampus.
Wow.
The one who visits you when you're bad.
The first thing
I need more emphasis on.
The first thing a child will do when they find out there is no Santa Claus is realize
shoot up a school.
No. Well, maybe.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe.
It's
possible.
Sorry. My bad.
But
My bad.
Those children are us, and we are. It just teaches us to lie. Like, oh, you can just tell someone something else that's not true because you can get them to do what you want them to do.
Brian, I'm sensing that you had a very traumatic realizing Santa isn't real experience.
Oh, I stayed up all night and I figured it out.
How old were you? How old were you?
I was 8. I was 8-year-old boy. I don't know if that's old. Is that too old to still believe in Santa Claus? 8 years old?
Dude, I mean, you're making me feel like I was way too old when I found out.
When did you find out?
Let me just preface this with saying I'm an only child. Single parent household, only child. So, my Christmases were great.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like the things that were on my letter to the big guy were the things that arrived assembled right there the next morning, and even though I wanted to maybe sleep on the couch, I never did. I just left the cookies and went about my business. And dude, I must have been 12, maybe 12.
Did you still believe in the Tooth Fairy at that age too?
No, I was way over the Tooth Fairy, but I just still had the magic of Santa. And what year was it when I was 12? 98, 97?
Dude, the same year we've
97. So in 1997, when Bret Hart got screwed, I didn't even know what to fucking think, dude. So I was just still living my best life, and I feel very embarrassed and ashamed to tell you, but in the spirit of Christmas in July, I just want to be honest with you guys. Larry, talk to us about your Christmas experiences.
I found my gifts. I found my gifts stashed when I was 9. I made an error and I actually revealed to my aunt, thinking that my aunt was my confidant.
No, she's your mom's sister.
Yes, bro. Yes, I didn't realize.
You're just some guy. You're just some fucking guy.
I told my aunt, I'm like, guess what? I found all the gifts that I'm going to get for Christmas. And she was like, you what? And I'm like, yeah, down in the basement, in the boiler. I found all these Toys R Us bags. I don't know what. The next day, they were gone. The next day, all the gifts were gone. I was none the wiser, but I was like, oh my God, what happened? But I still hadn't put 2 and 2 together that my aunt had smartened up my mom to be like, Larry found his goddamn gifts.
Your little innocent brain.
But after I confirmed on Christmas morning that the gifts I found in the Toys R Us bags were under the tree, I pretty much knew. I was like, you know what?
Damn.
My mom got these. But I kind of was thinking well, maybe Santa is so busy. He sent my mom all these things.
It's possible.
But then I was but in a Toys R Us bag. My mom had literally left them in the bags from KB Toys or Toys R Us in the behind the boiler.
Right.
And I'm like, Santa wouldn't do that. So yeah.
Fuck it up.
KB.
Oh,
all right,
shout out. Shout out KB Toys. But yeah, I found them, and around 9, I knew it was a wrap ski. I knew my mom was getting the gifts.
Shoot, and Brian, you hate Santa, and you're saying that if you have kids, you will teach them the principles of Desert Eagle over Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. We call it Presents Day. We're going to call it Presents Day, and I am Santa Claus. I am the bringer of presents. And if you're bad, you're not going to get shit. And if you want shit, then you be good.
And you're just going to
And I'll dress up. I'll dress up in a super fun suit on Presents Day. Presents Day suit, bro.
I wish I was
but
your
not
kid.
a Santa suit.
No, not Santa. Not Santa.
Like
Santa's
disco,
bullshit.
like shiny disco pants.
Yeah, Santa's bullshit.
You're gonna dress
Disco fever. Disco
Brian,
fever.
I feel like you might be onto something because, like I said, I was an only child and I was a spoiled boy, so I was later than both of you. And when I discovered that Santa wasn't real, it was like kind of a traumatic experience for me.
I can't believe you still believed in Santa once you found out there was no tooth fairy.
I mean, the tooth fairy, but the tooth fairy. If you think about it, it's actually harder. Like actually logistically, it's harder for your parents to slip money under your pillow than it is to just wrap gifts and put them under the tree while you're asleep.
You have to be very, very quick-handed and quiet.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
And there's the Easter. There's so many lies that are created for children that's why they're pieces of shit. That's why we're all pieces of shit.
Now, you know what? It's true though. I forego the Easter Bunny, I forego Tooth Fairy, but I held on to Santa for as long as I possibly could.
It's the best one of them.
It's the best one.
Facts.
Larry, were you a big Tooth Fairy guy in your household?
Not after being like your little teeth, when you lose your little teeth. But not once you know what I mean? Like I had a lot of dental work done very early on, so I don't know. I remember a few times losing my baby teeth, my little tiny teeth, and getting something under my pillow, but we didn't.
Do you think Nick Gage puts his teeth that he knocks out under his pillow for the Tooth Fairy?
Well, did you know Brian actually
sells them on eBay?
I actually have these. Hold on, let me just get on my computer. Oh yeah, I have these census results right in front of me. Actually, more deathmatch wrestlers still believe in the Tooth Fairy than any other population on Earth. Actually,
is that a coincidence?
I mean, I don't know. I'm reading it right here. It's an alleged source. It's an alleged source.
Hey, speaking of alleged sources, don't we get some giveaways on the Christmas episode?
Well, that's another part. It's Christmas in July. We have so many giveaways for you. Everything and anything that's not nailed down is going to be given away. So not only right after this episode do you get to watch the unfiltered barbecue match, but also we have like 40 giveaways for you. Like, I'll start. Hold on.
You start with the 444 giveaways.
For instance, the way it works, by the way, let me tease it a little bit more. If you super chat, you get to ask a question, redirect the conversation, change our topic, give us a nice compliment about Merry Christmas or whatever else you care to do. Also become a member, blah, 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 blah. And the highest super chat gets the first pick, second highest gets the second pick, and so forth and so on. So the top 25 super chatters will be receiving something in the mail, free shipping. First and foremost, Mick Foley, Madman Unmasked, VHS tape. I thought specifically
Whoa! Is that the one with Dude Law, Cactus Hand?
Yeah, show us too, goddammit.
It's like hold on. Oh, you guys are on a different camera. Here, you see it?
That's awesome.
I believe I have that tape, but I believe it won't play. Wait, is it VHS or DVD?
It's a VHS.
Oh, I need that. I'm about to super chat. I got a VHS player right
do you want me
to
to read the back to you here?
Please.
There's a picture of him falling through the cell. There's a picture of him.
I said read. Not describe.
There's also a picture of him in a very underrated match of his when he was in sweatpants and he just wrestled as Mick Foley and he fought Terry Funk.
Dude, it's one of his best matches in the E. It happened on Raw.
And then the third picture is him with his dad, and the fourth one is him as Dude Love with two women. To know Mick Foley.
Is one of the women Colette? Is it
No,
the time
it's
that
a non-Colette. It's a non-Colette photo.
Okay, continue.
To know Mick Foley is to know pain. From his humble, violent beginnings, he has scraped, clawed, and suffered his way to the top of professional wrestling. His maniacal characters have been called dangerous and sadistic, but those close to him say there is something more human inside of this man who willingly inflicts pain and seeks out suffering. Whew. Foley, otherwise known as Dude Love, otherwise known as Cactus Jack, otherwise known as Mankind, is a bizarre multiple personas. Is a man of bizarre multiple personas. Perhaps the most misunderstood of all of them is his own. So that's the first super chat. Sorry that took 10 minutes. Brian, you go now. Ho, ho, ho!
Ho, ho, ho!
It's a book.
A book?
For reading. The Death of WCW. Written by R.D. Reynolds and Brian Alvarez. It's got pictures if you don't want to read.
Wow, that's incredible. I have one.
All right.
Larry, do you have one?
I think I have one. Let me just find a good one here.
God
okay, I got one.
Bless us, everyone.
I got one. For those of you who don't know, I used to do like MMA and kickboxing shows. And every once in a while, the loser of a kickboxing match will not want to accept their medal. So this is a 2020 BJJ Open medal that one of the fighters who did not win did not want me to. They didn't want to accept their medal.
Dude, that's fucking sick.
That's awesome.
So the guy who was presenting them said, "Here, take it," and I took it right there. So technically, in 2020, I became a BJJ champion.
Tap cancer out, dude. That's actually the fucking sickest.
Hell yeah.
So no, I know, and you know what? It is the sickest. And for this type of cause, it shouldn't really been about winning and losing. It should have been about tapping cancer out. And I can't remember who it was, and I don't care. That person doesn't need any energy. But someone won or lost, and they got the medal for participating. They were like, "I don't want it. I'm winning." So the guy the referee was like, "Here, take it." I took it. Here it is, and it's part of the giveaways tonight.
Absolutely incredible. I got this one. This was given to me by a former friend. I'll show you guys first.
Who is that? Is that Casey Catal?
Mickey James?
It's
Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty.
Oh, it's Martini.
42
Martini.
Giannini.
Now, wait a second, Brian. Before I actually decide to give this away, just tell me if this is good or not. It says Leaf Originals Wrestling, 42 of 99. Is that expensive?
Remember that card I got when we did the opening, the Great Sasuke? It's like similar to that one. It's probably like $80.
Whoa, $80?
And keep in mind, Jannetty is still alive and with us. Is it signed?
All right, well,
it is signed.
Forget it then.
Yeah,
look at you.
Yeah, fuck that.
My giveaway is an All the Heathers Are Dying CD.
Okay.
Which
All
one?
the Heathers Are Dying,
Nice.
factory fresh, 100% real. That's in the giveaways this week as well. We're going to keep going. This giveaways is going to take like another 25 minutes. What do you got, Brian?
Maki Ito and Nick Gage, GCW Spring Break trading cards, MDK, all fucking day. Murder.
Is that this past spring break, or do they have additions?
This is the newest Spring Break set from this year.
When they first decided to do a GCW card set for spring break, Danny DeMonto was still with GCW, and he said to Brett Lauderdale, "We've got to do a Caribbean Larry card." And Brett said, "No, we're not giving him a card. Get the fuck out of here with that. Larry doesn't get a card." And subsequently, he went on to give Jimmy Lloyd's mom a card in that series pack. And I remember when Danny was trying to make sure that I knew that Brett was really my enemy. he was he let me know that he tried so hard to get me a Caribbean Larry card, but every single time he brought it up, Brett would just shout shit on it, be like, fuck that. So my question to you, Brian, as a buyer of all the GCW card sets is, does MLJ have a card?
Yes. He has a card.
Son of a bitch!
Desert Eagle, Desert Eagle.
I thought he did.
He might have more than one.
Yeah,
well,
probably.
You know what else is going in the giveaways?
He's worthy. He's worthy now that I'm gone. Continue, Pat. Go ahead.
You know what else is going in the giveaways? Didn't get given away last week, but the hat from the refereeing of the Kid Osborne Tarzan Duran match. The fedora. The USA barbecue fedora. And also, Brian, before you get to yours, I'm going to give away this Santa mug.
I forgot to make it snow, guys. It's snowing in my house.
Ho, ho, ho.
On Christmas.
Christmas in July. Rest in peace, Sean. No.
Did somebody say snow? I'm on my way.
Urka wants the book. Urka wants the book.
I'll be there in 25 minutes, Bri.
The book is Urka's.
Urka gets the downfall of WCW book
$10
written by $10. Book for Urk.
And because it's Christmas, you're getting these 2 stickers, Urka. You're going to get this Schlack sticker. I don't know if it's upside down. I can't tell. And this very last Sabu sticker.
Didn't Sabu just come out recently and throw a chair in someone's head?
He splashed Chris Jericho at the last pay-per-view through a table.
AAW. He wrestled on the AAW.
Well, he jumped.
Well, he didn't jump.
He had forced.
He just like stepped off the top rope, really. He didn't even jump. You're being a little too kind even there. He just kind of stepped off the top step.
He basically, in his mind, was thinking, body goes up, body goes down. Everything else is just let fate decide.
Dude, at his age, that's got to be scary as fuck, dude.
Hell yeah!
He's got like double hip replacement. He's got robot hips, even.
Do you think that makes it better?
I'm sure it makes it worse. It probably makes it scarier. Who is the most active of the ECW ilk, like now that like can still kind of go? Would it be Tommy?
It would either be Tommy or Bubba, yeah.
Bully, yeah. Bully's the most active.
Like as far as active wrestling. But Tommy has been doing it like as a wrestler more consistently. Bubba Ray like took some time off to be a booker and like a
also Rhino. Rhino is still in the mix. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Isn't Rhino still
not as much as Bully and fucking Tommy?
Yeah, but Tommy's been wrestling like every third weekend since we were watching him on ECW, dude. He like never stopped hitting those indies. Never stopped making those appearances. Like even Bubba Ray, all the guys who are like around now, even they took like years off. I feel like Tommy never took years off. Like in 2006, I was watching him wrestle at BCW in front of like 10 people. You know, like he went
it
right.
It was more than 10 people, Pat.
It's you know what? I didn't even mean BCW.
BCWs had more than 10.
It wasn't even BCW. I don't remember the letters. But it was at a gym.
It was Elks Lodge.
No, it wasn't even Elks Lodge. I botched the entire thing. I just tried to make it like consumable. But the real story is
it was it Family Wrestling Entertainment?
It might have been something like that, and it was in a gym not unlike Dario's Fitness, but like the gym equipment was like around.
I loved it at Dario's Ultimate Fitness Queens, bruh. I loved it there.
The answer to your question has got to be Tommy for me. Yeah.
I mean, Paul Heyman is not a wrestler, but he's been crushing it for fucking ever.
Yo, Paul Heyman got so huge, you don't even think about him as the old Paul Heyman. It's like two different people even. It's like Penguin Paul now.
Vince killed the what is it, the mad scientist. The mad scientist who actually gave him a run for his money and influenced his product. He killed him by saving his ass.
Yeah, but at the end
Paul
of the day,
owed a lot of money.
Even though Paul like fell in line, he still is having like a positive influence. You know, like you could look to Paul to have been responsible for the only WWE angles over the last like 10 years that are even palpable, that are even like okay. Like Paul.
It only matters when Paul's there.
Yeah, like and yeah, I think Paul has a like an unspoken intrinsic value, telling Roman how to act.
I'm sure that very much like myself, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but in particular after I did the 25th anniversary legacy show at MCW, Paul Heyman is the type of performer that everybody else around him then wants to step their game up to actually not be outshined by him. And type like me and Paul, and I feel like I can speak this freely. We like don't even have to try. We don't even have to try. We know this shit so down pat that like we're by default the natural leaders of the scene. And I felt that this past weekend when I did MCW's legacy show, because that followed MCW's like WrestleMania. And I was actually a little discouraged, or not discouraged, but just kind of like, they had Nikki James on the show the last night. They had all the big, falderall, and then we're going to do a 25th anniversary show on a Sunday.
Wait, so can I stop you right there and get some more details?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, because I was going to say that your connection to Paul Heyman is that the show that you were on, your presence at 25th anniversary of MCW lifted the whole thing.
Oh, it did? Yeah, but I didn't realize that. I am only human.
But wait, let me stop you there, because you said
go ahead.
The 25th anniversary that I was watching on your Instagram, and all of the fans watching at home, thank you, Blvd Bullies family and members, all those people, those Instagrams that you were putting, that was from Sunday, 25th anniversary of MCW, that you decided to like don yourself and emerge as like the master of ceremonies.
Oh no, they asked me.
Well, no, I know they did, I know they did, but it was a special occasion to bring you in.
And indeed it was.
Okay, but you're now saying that the day before, in the same building, under the same letters, there was like a different show?
Oh, yes, Pat. So MCW, my alma mater, where I started, the first company that ever put a microphone in my hand, their biggest show of the year is called the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup. A wrestler by the name of Brian Hauser was killed when the police responded to a domestic violence call at his home in 1998. And to commemorate his life and his legacy, MCW since 1998, actually, since they started, have been doing this show called the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup. It is a light heavyweight tournament. The likes of Mikey Whipwreck, The Amazing Red, Xavier, Quiet Storm, just you name them, Jerry Lynn, have been in this thing over the years, and it's a staple of Maryland wrestling. That show, the 22nd MCW Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup, happened on Saturday night. That's where Leo Rush was injured.
Christ.
Yes.
Same building? Same building too?
Same building, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I was daunted.
And then the 25th anniversary show just of them existing was on Sunday.
Was on a Sunday.
I hate that.
But it's summer. It's summer. It is summer. So the kids don't have to go to school the next day. And what we were hoping was that all morning long was a fan festival, a free fan festival featuring Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Goth Baby, Reddy Sky, one of these things. Action Andretti, Leo Rush, Melina. And what we were hoping was that all the people that came to this free fan fest would be like, oh, there's a show tonight?
On Sunday. On Sunday.
Yeah, it's Sunday. Fuck it, I'll buy a
come
ticket.
on. Was there not a Saturday, Sunday group ticket? There must have been a VIP group package.
No, because they were giving the fan fest away for free, Patrick. Anybody and their mother could have come to the fan fest, and there were plenty of fans who just came to the fan fest because it was free.
Right.
Who didn't even know about the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup the night before.
I wish you would have told me about this. I would have come down and hung out with you for 2 days.
Well, they brought me in. I did the damn thing. And I heard from several individuals, and I should not be surprised about this, that the superior show of the weekend was the Legacy show.
It was Saturday.
And Sunday.
Sunday.
He
damn it.
had me.
Jesus Christ, I'm
bro,
confused.
come
Okay,
on.
Jesus, keep going.
Yeah, bro, keep up. Me. It's always better when I'm involved. XPW has me involved. It's better than ICW. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I
MCW
understand.
had their biggest show of the year. They had their biggest show of the year. I wasn't the announcer. People were coming up to me all night long like, why aren't you announcing? Why aren't you announcing the big show? And I kept saying to them, I'm tomorrow night. Come see me tomorrow night. I'm doing tomorrow night. And several people told me that after it was all said and done, that the energy on the second night was more explosive, more fun, more, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. And after talking to someone, they enlightened me to the fact that probably because Leo got injured, the first match of the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup, okay, the first match was followed with an announcement that Leo was injured.
Fuck.
The entire night went down. The entire night was sort of had a hue of danger. These guys could get hurt. Your boy Leo, who was in the first match, you're not going to see him anymore, even though he advanced in the fucking tournament because he got injured. So I was the pick-me-up. I was the, hey, everybody, it's okay. Leo's fine. You're not going to see him tonight, but you got my black ass. And everyone said, Larry, Larry, Larry. And by the time that the dust had settled, they were like, wow, we're glad we came to
What a
this
show.
show and the show last night.
That sounds like a
So
great,
mission accomplished.
sounds like a great
Mission
2 days.
accomplished.
What did you wear for your Sunday 25-year extravaganza?
Well, Pat, I'm glad that you asked that question because, I pay very close attention to, in particular, the color of the advertisements. Okay? So the colors of the advertisements for this show were a throwback to where MCW comes from. And MCW comes from the Maryland flag. There would always be some red, yellow, white, and black. But since I got my start in MCW back in the day, they have now switched to a very cool color of blue. Their colors are now blue and silver. So I wore my midnight blue blazer. Shout out Owen Hart. And just some Stacey Adam patent leather shoes and some Ben Sherman golf pants. I wore Ben Sherman golf pants, and I wore my Comedia and Tragedy lapel pin, and I wore my rhinestone bow tie.
Hey,
So I
sounds
matched
great.
I matched the hue of what MCW has become, as opposed to being a throwback to where MCW was.
Smart.
Red.
Smart. I like
Well,
it.
I mean, I pay attention.
And
I
if
pay
it's, and if
attention.
you got blue ring aprons and you're wearing red, like that's not.
It's a clash.
Yeah.
It's a clash.
No.
I don't want to stand out too much. You guys have already invited me back. I'm already blah, blah, blah all night long. Let me blend in.
Good.
Let me blend in. And I want another thing real quick, before you go on to something else. Another thing that made me really nervous. Well, another thing that made me really nervous about this was, I don't know MCW's show anymore. I don't know, like, headsets and how they give cues to the announcer and, like, if the announcer needs to pay attention to the commentators up there to not talk over them, or if they're going to a VTR. I don't know their show. I'm a pro, so I can adapt and catch up, but I don't know their show. So I was very nervous about going back to the place that birthed me, essentially, and fucking it up.
I'm sure everyone was pleased. Did you fuck it up? You didn't fuck it up.
Fucked it up in the best
Yeah.
way.
Hey, Brian, I hear you.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, before we move on to the next topic, ho, ho, ho. Happy
You can win a
holidays.
medal.
You can win
You
a
can win a
medal.
medal.
You can win an All the
$5.
Heathers Are Dying CD. You can win a
Look at
Mick
this.
Foley VHS tape.
You can win this shark.
It's a shark in a jar.
A shark in
Yeah.
a jar. Formaldehyde.
You can win a shark in a jar. There are more holiday giveaways than you've ever seen before in your gosh darn life. Ho, 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 Hallmark, Christmas in July, fuck Shark Week.
Sharks are scary, man.
It's Christmas time in Hollis Creams. Mama's cooking chicken and some collard greens.
I'm glad that you said that, Larry. I want to go around the room right now. Favorite Christmas song, Brian the Jew.
Brian the Jew. My favorite Christmas song is probably Carol of the Bells, but the August Burns Red version.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to listen to that. Carol of the Bells goes fucking hard.
Dude, I mean,
bro,
there's a whole August Burns Red Christmas record, and it's actually my favorite. It's my favorite thing to listen to during holiday times.
Larry, it is such a stirring song, Brian. I co-sign that.
Favorite Christmas song? Cheers. Are you going to go Carol of the Bells, or what are you going to
do? Y'all, there's something to be said about repetition. You know, there's something to be said about repetition.
He's going Mariah Carey.
And there is one Christmas song that ends with the same phrase being said 3 times. And that song is the Jingle Bell Rock. And I feel like that song is like a song that you rock to, but Christmas rock. You understand what I'm saying?
When you are pulling the strings of Michael Jordan in your house to convince Joe Pesci and the other guy that there's a party.
You have hit the nail right on the head. Christmas rock out with your motherfucking family cock out. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell rock.
Ho, ho, ho.
Bro, I love the finish. The finish makes me come every time, dude.
Right.
So that is my favorite song.
I'm sorry to be the one to inform you, but you're both wrong. The greatest Christmas song of all time is "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Or no, I'm sorry. You got
All I Want for Christmas.
No, stop it. You're both wrong. It's All Alone on Christmas, Darlene Love featuring the E Street Band. That is the greatest Christmas song. You know, because Darlene Love has that song, Christmas, the snow's coming down, which if the E Street Band did get involved, would be the rating defending greatest Christmas song of all time. However,
it's a good song.
For Home Alone 2, they commissioned the E Street Band sans Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen, replaced by Darlene Love, made a rock saxophone remix of the original Darlene Love song, All Alone on Christmas, the greatest Christmas song ever written, bar none.
All right, Pat. All right. Everybody has an opinion. And everybody's opinion is just like an asshole. They all stink.
What's your favorite Christmas wrestling angle, Brian? I feel like we're all going to say the same thing because there's only one really, and I feel like we're all going to say the same thing. But go ahead, Brian.
I hate getting put on the spot. All I can think of is like Stone Cold doing it at the troops.
Boom! Stone Cold stunning the Santa is my number one Christmas angle. Larry, do you have another one that isn't that?
I can't even think of another.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What is it?
Oh,
he's buying himself time.
Pat? my favorite Christmas angle is the introduction of the short-lived Santa Claus, played by one Balls Mahoney, in 1995.
The Santa Claus
with the X high, BX stand up. Just because I thought this is great, and just like Christmas, like literally the next day it was gone.
Well, you did it. You achieved your goal of buying yourself enough time to think of anything other than Stone Cold stunning Santa.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of Santa Claus for the beginning. I just wanted to fucking say absolutely to hammer forth that repetition works. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell rock.
Hey, if you have more Christmas questions, we have so many giveaways. You could choose basically anything in this entire studio. You could fucking choose to take home with you, including a silver cancer defeating gold medal. Silver
And guess
medal.
what? Guess what?
Footage of a Yeti.
Guess.
Footage of a Yeti bottle opener.
Bottle opener keychain.
Y'all,
You could win this
hold on.
very mug with my DNA on it.
I am going to sweeten the pot.
I love
Guys,
sweet pot.
all of the thumbtacks that came out of my shoe before I announced the
It's
MCW
snowing.
anniversary show in the package with the BJJ
Are those
losers.
Do you remember where those thumbtacks are from, or are they just random different thumbtacks over the years?
No.
It's from a
I
match.
wore the shoes that I wore the shoes that I wore for XPW the last XPW show that I did. I wore those shoes for MCW this past Sunday.
So that was LA.
And I
you
didn't
were
want
in
to. I didn't
Problematic?
want to slip down the ramp. So before I went, I used my nails here because I'm a heathen to take all of the thumbtacks out of my shoe,
You
the
could
bottom
use
of my
your
shoe.
keys.
So these,
keys are a good thing to use as well.
I like to use my nails because I'm a tactical motherfucker.
Visceral. You want to have a visceral experience.
I want to hurt myself, and I did. I broke a nail while I was getting these tacks out, and if I'm not careful, I might step on a tack because a bunch of them fell on the floor. But yeah, I'll put the tacks from the last. What was the last Newark show? Broken, Beaten, and Scarred. I'll put the tacks from I don't know what match had tacks.
Incredible.
One of them, and I'll put them in there.
You could win a VHS.
Tacks from Larry's
You could win a
shoes.
compact disc. You could win a shark in formaldehyde. You could win a book, which Urkel has already claimed at $10. You could win a medal with tax. All things that are going to be very difficult for us to send in the mail. We will do for you in the name of Christmas in July. Ho, ho, ho. And Larry, you mentioned XPW. We are going to get to a massive boots on the ground, Brian and Larry XPW preview. But before we get to that, I want to go into wrestling headlines. Brian, have you watched any wrestling at all?
Dude, I don't think I've watched wrestling since Seth Rollins won the fucking belt.
Larry, have you watched any wrestling at all?
Of course, I host shows every weekend.
No,
Are you talking
means-
about on the television?
Yeah.
Okay, so I watched Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole thrust their hips hither and thither, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman. As a matter of fact, Deathmatch Doctor himself sent us that in real time, I believe, in our group chat. So
Yes.
I watched that. I also watched some of a board, a screwdriver board, was it?
It was a bed
so-
of nails. Well, basically, before we get into all the headlines, my
I
point...
haven't watched anything but the shit that's been online shared as
Clips.
like
You've seen
gift form
clips.
or like small format.
So but
Huh?
that
Yes.
accentuates my point is that you are now, don't be mistaken, you are watching a wrestling podcast. Brian, this is what happens. Larry's been in the business for 20 years, so of course he doesn't watch the shows. Brian, since you've been hit, you're in the business now, you don't watch any wrestling.
I just watched deathmatch wrestling.
When you're in the business, you don't watch wrestling, so now you're watching a show of
Well,
three
he's
guys.
not. I mean, he's making money off the business. He's not in the business. He's making
Right.
money.
He's
off
in
the
the
business.
biz.
He's not
He's in the
it.
biz.
I'm using it. I'm
Brian's
using
in
it
the
to
biz.
my advantage.
Well, all right, so I'm going to walk us through some headlines before we get to our XPW preview, and I just want your guys' opinions. Rick Steiner, this is a thing that, Larry, you screamed at me about last week, about the Rick Steiner being reinstated to WrestleCon and Effie's opinion. Guess what? Turns out the day after our show, the day after the announcement that Rick Steiner was reinstated to WrestleCon because he apologized and he realized the error of his ways, and WrestleCon is now instituting a fucking zero tolerance policy, but Rick Steiner's forgiven. Guess what? The next day, due to all that online backlash, Rick Steiner pulled off a WrestleCon the very next day. And I think that, Larry, your reaction had something to do with it. Care to comment?
Bro, I don't care.
That is what you
I
said
don't
last
care.
week.
I don't care but I know to beware of like all of the fucking people that just want to rouse and rabble. Like I know that I come from a generation that's a little bit more on the nose. I know that as much fun as we have with juicy hot dogs, how quickly someone could turn that into like, oh, why is Larry not talking about like hot cherry pie? Why is he only like glorifying the phallic part of, what is like sex? Like, yeah, it's all yuck yuck. Or like someone's like, I don't like that Larry is like an open homosexual and uses like the imagery of a penis to like make a bunch of people who probably don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like how things can be spun into like, wait, what?
Larry,
what?
I've been going through the Blvd Bullies ancient Dropbox, trying to find like special things to put on the members only version.
Is there some
of the
problematic stuff that could get us canceled?
Well, Larry, it was like Cage of Death 2016, maybe 17, and it was right before Leo Rush versus Sami Callihan. Do you remember this? It's Leo.
I remember.
It's negative space Leo Rush, goth Leo Rush against cat head mask Sami Callihan.
Yeah,
and right before it, you go, just a reminder that the Flyers Skate Zone concession stand will be open all night long. and then after that, you go into like, they have juicy beef products. But like even that, you go, they're open all night long. And but dude, to me, oh my God, we're making it a Larry episode, but to me, you opened the minds of all the wackos and homophobics. Like, I feel like you did more harm than good. Like I think that homophobic CZW fans started to love you and understand that like things were okay,
Absolutely. And that goes all the way back to 2300 Arena Philly when they hated me when I first came out.
You got over through being hated, and you kind of almost opened the minds of so many homophobic backyard wrestling.
Who knows? They may have been like, I hate that type of individual, but then they may have been like, but Larry's cool.
Yeah,
so you know what?
But Larry's
there's
cool.
More of them
exactly,
that's cool.
Dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
right. I get it, Pat, but I also get that as much as that is the narrative that we know is the God's honest truth, there's somebody searching, looking for something that's just like, hey, let's pile on Larry. Like the time that he sunned J-Rose for fucking putting himself over for announcing Leo Rush at the homecoming when really all he wanted to put over was the fact that he called DC soon to be the 51st state, and that still is not the case.
Well, I think, from the time...
That was just an example of one time where just, like, doing nothing turned into pitchforks! You're killing! Like,
well, that's
Rick
just because
Steiner?
The times have changed.
Rick,
and like,
hold on. Who was thinking... Dude, it infuriates me. Who was thinking of Rick Steiner? Not
Nobody.
me.
Not me.
I'm thinking of Scott more than I'm thinking of Rick.
Facts.
Well, Scott's still on the con. Rick is off. Scott's still on.
Well, let's start a campaign to get Scott off, because obviously if they're related, that means that their mom and dad probably raised them the same way. So Scott is just perpetrating, trying to get money, and we don't want anyone like them to get money. So why don't we all jump online and be like, hey, guys.
Fuck Scott Steiner.
Yeah, Scott Steiner's a world-famous asshole as well.
Yeah. Bro, but the selective prosecution, can we examine the things that Scott has done? Right? This is exactly, Pat. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's selective outrage. But that's not even true.
We can all be a victim. We can all be a victim. I love Epi to death. I repeat, I love Epi to death. But if you don't think for 1 second that all those motherfuckers that support him right now, all those followers, if the right person finds the right thing to be like, look at this guy, everybody, that they will not turn their backs on him, you got another thing coming, in the words of Judas
That's why
Priest.
Epi's very careful. He's a very careful boy.
He's smart.
He's a smart boy.
Hey, before we got into this, you spoke about the Adam Cole, MJF, Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara dance-off. So before I get your opinions on this, I want to walk you through what happened, Brian, in case you haven't seen it. Basically, they have the tag team mashup like tournament where apparently 2 names are chosen out
Tag
of
team turmoil.
tag team turmoil. And you know, like this fucking selection of who's on the same team is just about as real as the Royal Rumble selection, you know, basically. But, you know, Adam Cole and MJF are on a team, and they have had, and I can only imagine that these are directed and shot by GC himself, but they have had amazing Ditamo. Black shirt, black shoes, white cons, Cadillac. I'm 7'4". Anyway, so these are great promos. You got the classic odd couple tag team of MJF and Adam Cole versus now Daniel Garcia, who I watched wrestle in Buffalo in 2017, and Sammy Guevara. And Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, they do the worst TikTok dance of all time to start this match. And then Adam Cole and MJF have a dance-off. Larry, you said you saw this. What were your initial impressions?
I thought it was very gay. Especially and when I say gay, I don't mean that they themselves are like homosexual.
Well,
but that they I mean, I don't mean that, but I felt like that this is what I mean. I had more than one of my circle of friends like send me screenshots of like, I guess the way that Sammy and Daniel Garcia ended up, like the way their grand finale. I had more than one friend send me that, not like what is going on in professional wrestling, but more sent me that like, hey, do you know them? Like, who is that? You know, some of my friends knew them. So it was very much like a spectacle of like shaking bodies, gyrating bodies, touching in a different way than the violence that you were about to see. And guess what? I think they go hand in glove, and I was all for it. So I loved it. I did not like that Adam Cole's dancing was just humping. Like his dancing was like everybody danced. Everybody did something. Okay? And I don't know if it's that Cole. I've been in a club with Cole. He can shake that thing. But his dancing was simply like
it was power. It was power thrust. Like when MJF was gyrating, it was like very, very sensual. But Adam Cole,
MJF was dancing. He was dancing a jolly jig, okay? But Cole was essentially just simulating sex. And again, there is where I come from with. That's where I come from with that. I thought it was very gay because, you know, I mean, like,
well, dude, they do a lot of that shit in like Japan. They do a lot of that like weird stuff in Japan.
I know
they do a lot of butt stuff. Like
they do a lot of butt stuff in Japan.
And I feel like AEW is trying to bring like that kind of style to here, maybe, and they're like bringing that over.
And I wonder why.
Sells.
So, and then they had later in the week after the gyrating, they had Blood and Guts, which was like, you know, what's his name? Kota Ibushi was like the 10th and final member, and they had this whole fucking huge match. There was a bed of nails now. Jon Moxley debuted the bed of nails on American television, and then apparently after the whole show went off the air, Kota Ibushi took a handful of thumbtacks, slammed them into his pectorals, and then took a flat back bump. Just for a good time. Just for a good time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, yo. Kota Ibushi is the one who suffered so severe of a head injury that he was hospitalized.
No, the guy who had his brain replaced was the other guy, the Orange Cassidy guy, Shibata. The brain,
Thank
the
you.
brain
Thank you.
replacement is
Thank you.
Shibata.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
He
you.
had a
Okay,
full
thank you.
lobotomy.
Yeah, he had according
Yes.
to Dave Meltzer, he had his entire brain replaced. Larry,
And
you've
he-
heard this.
Shibata-
You've heard this on our show that we watch. You know, like Shibata had his entire brain replaced, according to Dave Meltzer. Yeah, no.
And he still
Okay.
knows his name.
Well, no, yeah, and he's back, and he wants to wrestle with
So
Orange Cassidy.
was Kota Ibushi at one point in NXT?
He was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I'll tell you, I don't remember what year the Cruiserweight Classic was, and I was so happy to see my man Tony Nese, star of Nese's Pieces, in it. And at the time of the Cruiserweight Classic, I didn't know any of these guys. I didn't know Mustafa Ali. I didn't know T.J. Perkins. I didn't know Kota Ibushi, and they were all in the Cruiserweight Classic, and they were all awesome. And that opened my mind, because listen, what do I care? I've been rejecting wrestling for years. I'm not watching this shit. But Cruiserweight Classic was dope. And that's where Kota
Piper
Ibushi's
Niven's
from.
still around?
Who?
Piper Niven. Is she still around?
Piper Niven.
Dewdrop.
I feel
I
like
don't
she
think
came
so.
back
No,
as
maybe.
Piper Niven. Yeah, I haven't watched enough to know.
Because she was the Mae Young Classic. Remember when NXT used to do things like the Mae Young Classic and the Cruiserweight Classic and the Dusty, whatever?
Daniel Garcia's new dance. Yay? Nay? Have you seen these clips? He was fighting Shibata in Ring of Honor, and he fucking did his new dance down into like the sitting position. He does his new dance out of sleeper holds. Have you seen these? Have you seen this dance, Daniel Garcia?
Haven't seen it. Can you show us? You can't
Are
show
you
us.
That's what I'm
talking
showing.
about
I'm
the-
trying to show you.
Are you talking about the snake hip swivel?
Yeah, he does a very
snake hip
intense
swivel?
Hip swivel.
So Brian, I will describe it to you. Do you remember how Rick Rude used to swivel his hips?
Oh, yeah.
But he would isolate his hips, and all
Right.
that would be moving is his hips. Okay, so what Daniel Garcia does is he starts to snake himself from like his shoulders and upper body all the way down through his rib cage, all the way down to his pelvis, down to his hips, and down to his quads, and down to his knees. And he holds his hands up like this, and he just snakes and swivels. So he does the Rick Rude's hip swivel, but it's his whole body. It's his whole body
Yeah, but,
swiveling
Why is everybody dancing all of a sudden? Is this like a new thing that just happened?
Rick Rude used to do that swivel like before and after the match, but Daniel Garcia
Yes.
does it like 5 times during the match as well.
In every match, in like multiple matches, he's done it now.
Oh, it's his like new favorite thing. Yeah.
He's a sports
I mean, the thing
entertainer.
about it is Daniel Garcia is a pretty piece of flesh, to borrow an expression from Shakespeare. And again, with me saying that that whole dance number was very gay, I think that Daniel Garcia clearly recognizes that a lot of the fans that are out there are probably homosexual, because there are a lot of people that are just plain homosexual. And in addition to admiring the violence and the fighting of it, they probably admire a body type, a very lean, what we call weasel like body type, like Daniel
Weasel.
Garcia.
Weasels like?
So if weasel like, or I don't know, ferret, any of the mongoose, all them shits, them slimy
That's a
fucking
positive.
things
That's
that can also fight,
compliment, though.
that can also fucking kill fucking king cobras and fight their asses off. They're no slouches.
Or
So
badgers.
that's part of where it comes from. But he probably knows that there's an audience that appreciates that. Who knows? Maybe even Tony Khan himself appreciates it.
Whoa. He's reading Twitter. They're all reading Twitter. So
I love it. Yay. I love it. Yay. Because he does it well. Guys, if it was Brian Cage out there, like trying to do something like that, because an agent in the back said, oh, blah, 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 blah. We got a lot of gays, blah, 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 blah. And you're kind of like a bear. So blah, 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 blah. Why don't you go out there and do a little hip swivel? And Brian Cage tried to. We would all see right through it and be like, yo, this guy doesn't he doesn't know what he's doing. They're making him do this. Daniel Garcia does that hip swivel motherfucking thing and looks good doing it. That's why he does it
I
5
bet you
times a
Brian
match.
Cage can move his hips real good.
I was a bad example. I was just around Brian.
Jesus Christ.
You get to, but you know what I mean. We could see through when there was someone in the back being like, "Hey, we got a lot of
right,
gay
moving
audience
on.
out there." So listen, you okay?
moving on.
You're the boss, applesauce.
Hey, moving on. You said before that Leo Rush was injured on the Saturday MCW show. Do you care to give us a personal update? What's the deal with Leo? Leo's injured yet again.
Well, I mean, I gotta tell you, y'all. One of the things that I always used to say to Leo Rush, and I'm talking about before he was even in WWE, was, "Hey man, you gotta watch that body." I would always say, "Hey, how's that body holding up?" You know, because of his style, and his size. You know, he's around a lot of big boys, and a lot of the times, big boys like a Brian Cage, they really like wrestling good wrestlers that are small, like Leo Rush or Ray Jr. You know why? Because they can like, you know, do the whole fucking "I'm a King Kong." You know what I mean? Like, it really, really make it believable. So I really always stayed on him about his body. And I remember the first shoulder injury. And it is not a lie when I say that as soon as I saw him on Saturday, I was like, "Hey, what's that?" And when I said "what's that," I was talking about the lightning strike that he has going down his nose now, because you guys know when he was over in New Japan, he got fucking fucked up. There were all these bloody faces. Patrick, are you listening to me, or are you like combing Twitter? Because I'm not talking for.
I am listening to you.
Well, be actively engaged the way that Brian and I are.
And even I'm running the show here. I'm trying to figure out.
You asked me a question. You asked me a question. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
It's for the viewers. It's for the viewers are listening. Everybody's listening to you.
Okay?
They love to listen.
Damn it.
I'm figuring out what's gonna happen after this.
Bro, we don't have to figure that out. We can just fucking flow. That's
Listen
what I
to the
thought we were
goddamn
doing.
I am
Lord.
listening while I'm flowing.
Yeah, but I'm looking at you.
All right,
and
my
you're
phone-
looking at
all right, my
your
phone
like
is
the
gone.
first
My
time
phone
we
is
had
away.
you on
My
here,
phone is
and
away.
Ron, Mimi, and
Bro.
MLJ said you guys look like Flamio because you're not paying attention to
Well,
me.
I could just say first and foremost, fuck both of those guys, okay? And go ahead and keep laying the story on me. Where were we?
I
tell us,
don't
Patrick.
care anymore. I don't give a
How
shit anymore.
dare you?
Move on.
How
Move
dare
on
you?
to whatever the fuck else we want to talk about. Brian, you take it.
Brian, what do you want to talk about, Ryan? What the hell do you want to
Put it
talk
on the
about?
Jew. Why are you putting it on the
Talk
Jew
about the goddamn
for?
deathmatch drama, because obviously Pat is going to ask me a question and then look goddamn it.
You were telling us about Leo Rush's
I was
nose.
thinking about the next thing. I was thinking about the audio and the next
You were
thing.
telling us about Leo Rush's lightning bolt
Well, I
nose.
don't
God
care.
damn
I
it.
don't care anymore about that.
Fine.
Brian,
Fine.
go.
Where are we
lighting
going?
my fucking joint.
You know where we're
too.
going, Brian.
We going to XPW? Because
That's
all
where
I know
we're going,
to
Brian.
Go.
Go ahead. Take it away, God damn it.
Yeah, and
Oh.
look at the motherfucking camera while he talks, goddamn
What a
it.
lovely fucking Christmas it's been. Happy
Yeah, this is
holiday.
what happens at Christmas.
Happy holiday.
Brian, you're off.
This is the
Happy
Jews
I
on
don't
holiday.
light up
Christmas,
yours
bro.
too.
Good.
Well, this Saturday we're going to be in Newark, New Jersey for
Well,
XPW.
Pat's not gonna be there.
No, Pat doesn't come. Pat
I
doesn't
have
come.
a different thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Just going to listen
I
to
have
some other people.
No, I have. How dare you? You know what? Just keep going. Just keep going.
Newark, New Jersey, this Saturday. I hope you die. Larry, myself, the missing deathmatch doctor are going to be in attendance.
We'll see. We'll see if he's in attendance.
If he didn't
I
get
think he'll be
murdered.
there. He'll be there.
He's not murdered
He'll-
by an assassin. A Texas
He's
assassin.
in his local fucking area with the lonely Jews on Christmas. That's where Sean is right now. He's with my people, keeping him company
Nah.
on this fucking
Are you sure?
July 25th Christmas. Yes, I'm positive.
I don't know about that.
I'm positive. But, Larry, I need to know which match you're most excited for.
Well, as I mentioned to you a few weeks ago, when I was hanging out with the Necro Butcher and Alex Cologne in a lovely suite in the whatever that fucking hotel was we were staying in Cali, I actually asked the two of them, "Hey, have you guys ever fought?" And they both were like, "Nope, not yet." And then, lo and behold, unbeknownst to me, what's announced? First time ever for the XPW Championship, Alex Cologne versus the Bag of Butcher. So, having started around the time that both of those guys were like really, well, Alex was just starting and Necro was already a thing, I'm really looking forward to the Styles clash.
It's going to be insane, dude.
What
It's
about
gonna be
you,
fucking insane.
Bri? What are you looking forward to?
That fucking national, intergalactic four-way fuck fest
Sexy
is going to
Eddie,
be
woo!
insane. Sexy Eddie.
I hope we get to see some cock.
I was just
cock and fire.
I just love Sexy Eddie from his top of the cage of death, garbage can on the head, moonsault. He was the first one that I ever saw squirt blood. Larry, can you vouch for this? Out of the arm, Tournament of Death, Sexy Eddie squirting blood out of his thing into his mouth, and then Brain Damage did it from the head. A few short years later, but Sexy Eddie, to me, was the first to realize that he had a gash so deep he was going to go to the hospital, and then squished his arm and squirted it into his own mouth. Moonsault.
Damage was the first time I saw it. Damage was the first time I saw it. I wasn't there when Sexy Eddie did it.
No, Sexy
but
Eddie
I did
was
see
the
that
first.
footage after. Yeah. I love Sexy Eddie. I love that he's still doing it.
He's evolved.
Pondo's in that
school.
One. Pondo's in that fucking match. Shadow WX.
Old school. And I finally get to announce Green Phantom.
And the Green Phantom.
So
Green
Brian,
Phantom wasn't that California?
I'm only saying that because Green Phantom was scheduled to do an ICW No Holds Barred show, but not happening.
Rolling with the punches.
Not happening.
So what else? What else is going on at XPW?
I'm also excited to be announcing Shadow.
Oh my god, I'm so excited, dude. You think they're gonna let him use fire? Probably not.
I mean, there is no staff. There is no staff.
Oh, there's no staff.
Yeah, so
no rules.
What else is happening?
It's gonna be the Body versus goddamn Schlack for the King of the Deathmatch Championship.
In a razor board crucifixion death match.
Mm-hmm. It's going to crucify him for his goddamn sins.
What does that entail?
That's exactly what I was about to ask. I think it must be boards that are shaped like crosses with razor blades stuffed through styrofoam and then hot glued to the crucifix boards.
I would like...
That's what I'm going to guess.
I would like those boards to be in the corner. But I would like the finish of the match to be like maybe like a pulley system.
Oh, like he actually gets hung, dude?
Maybe you could like do a pulley. Or maybe,
you're making me excited.
Not even that. You could just have it be standing up straight and he latches the guy's arms to it. Very, very simple. Bungee cords. Bungee cords.
How about he pushes him into one of the crucifix razor boards, picks him and the entire crucifix up so it's upside down, and does that driver. It's upside down.
I was gonna say
just
walks him to the back, just carries him to the back. That's the end.
When was it when did Schlack do that suspension thing? Like he actually did the fuck. He suspended
years ago.
That was tournament.
They should hang the Body.
That's when Zandig
suspension.
Zandig fought Janela. I don't know the show.
Yeah, you could do like a pulley, like a pull the rope, bring the cross up type situation. But now that I'm thinking about that, that's too much work. Maybe just a cross upright.
That's why I said put him on it.
A crucifixion entails hands getting bolted to the thing.
You're right,
Larry. But you're
right.
You're probably right, Larry. Like
Jews love crucifixions, so I know.
Brian, please,
Brian. You ever see Passion of the Christ?
Please, Brian.
We love it.
This isn't the movie.
Hungry,
Brian. So listen, Larry, I think you're right. I think it's too much to ask that we're gonna have any kind of like theatrically satisfying rig. I think it's just going to be like there's one thing shaped like a thing, and the guy goes through the thing, and it's a 1, 2, 3, and that's the crucifixion. Sadly.
I think they're going to make it a thing, and it's going to be
talked
about. It's going to be talked about. Yeah, I hope it's going to be what's talked about.
I think that Schlack and Body definitely want to steal the show.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, a pulley or some sort of like, that moment, like when Kit hit you with the light tube, that moment, or when the Body got a needle through his dick, that moment. Like they're going to be aiming for that, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched.
No.
I'm there for it.
You're going to need some kind of system here. You're gonna need a system or some kind of like upright holding thing here.
Is the audio okay, Pat?
Sure, Larry. Sure.
All right.
Why? What do you have to say?
I just want to make sure because I know you check audio sometimes.
Making
Yeah.
sure
You're not
you
always-
didn't have to
you're
check your
not-
phone
yeah.
or anything.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to pay as much attention as humanly possible since you yelled at me. Yes. But now I don't know what else to talk about. So
Well, there's
so
more matches. There's more matches.
I
God
just
damn it!
want to let everybody know Leo's fine.
Leo's fine. Okay, good. He's fine.
He's gonna do his match in Philly. The next New Japan date he has in Philly, he's gonna do. That's all.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. You know, I just,
That's all.
Thank
that's
you.
going on
Thank
with
you
him.
so much.
He's fine.
Thank you so much, Brian. What other matches are there?
They just announced Mr. Fantastic versus the Hardcore Hillbilly,
A guest of the show.
a guest of the show. God
We
damn
Friend
should
of the
have-
Bullies.
We should have had.
shit.
We should have had Fantastic on this bitch tonight. And if we would have known Deathmatch Doctor was, we could have had Fantastic.
Yeah, we
right
could have
here.
filled the third square with Deathmatch Phantasmo.
Mr. Fantastic, god damn it. And he said himself that he was going to sodomize the Hardcore Hillbilly live. in New York.
Brian, I noticed that you took a private joke that Larry said in the group chat that was something to the effect of prolapse his ass. And
wasn't
you've
a
now,
private
and
joke.
now you've taken it and you've made it a public thing that you now say.
Not only am I
Care to
making it
comment,
public,
Brian?
yeah, he
Did
told me
I
to make it
say
a sign.
that? Yeah, I
Larry,
don't remember. I said
Larry,
that.
you told me to make it a sign, and not only am
Yeah, I think
going
as a
to,
joke. I think as an extreme joke.
no, I think that he was extremely
I
serious.
often say things that I don't remember. I said prolapse his ass.
The sign is my sign will read, "Mr. Fantastic will prolapse that
You
hillbilly's
see what
ass."
you've done now, Larry?
Too many words.
That is
too many
much,
words.
Too much.
Fan-
Too many words. Just
Prolapse that mega
Prolapse.
maga ass.
no. Just prolapse. Top his middle ass.
Prolapse his ass.
Exclamation.
That
yeah,
will be the
prolapse.
sign.
Yeah.
Prolapse
Yeah,
his
you
ass.
see what you've
Maybe
done
you can
now,
get a
Larry?
chat. Maybe you can get a chant started.
I will.
I think, Brian, if you continue this behavior, the only ass that's going to be prolapsed is your own.
How do you know I don't like it?
He likes.
Okay.
Things.
Hey, let's go through the giveaways again. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho.
Oh yeah, we gotta go through the giveaways. Yeah, I got. Yeah, are we doing? Go ahead, Pat. Do it.
No, I want to hear what your giveaway is. That's the top of the food chain to me.
We got.
Urka wanted the book.
So, but get the book out of here. So now what you guys are putting, because Urka got it, right? Okay,
Yes.
look, you got this, my BJJ loser. This is, listen, you get this for $1. Along with
$1.
all of the tax.
Wow, let it snow.
There's a lot more that fell on the ground.
Let it
And
snow.
look,
Thumbtacks. Wow.
I'm gonna
Oh,
s-
it's
I'm
snowing
gonna-
for Brian as well now.
I'm gonna sweeten the deal.
Christmas
'cause
in
I have a-
July. I can't believe
I have
it.
I have
Oh,
a
no.
bunch of shit. Listen, I have an ACH ROH photograph that he started to sign, and then he said, "Oh, I made a mistake." And it stops. He did, and he stopped signing.
Why did he
This
make
is
a
from AC
mistake?
I think he was just gonna sign it, and then they were like, "Oh, can you make it out too?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah. Well, fuck this." And I got this.
I
This
hate
is
that.
Albert Charles Hardy, fellow Sagittarius, said, "Fuck WWE, fuck Triple H, and fuck that slave name, fuck them all,"
Hey, quit.
and left WWE. I'm so proud of him. And I hope he's doing well. But I got this ACH 8x10 from ROH when they
Basically
were owned
just
by Sinclair Broadcast Group.
A and half of a C.
Uh-huh.
It
Albert
kind of
Charles.
looks like it says 2.
It's got a lot of dust around it because it's just been
Yeah,
laying
I have a
around.
lot
I'm
of
sorry, I'm
dusty
a dirty
stuff that
bitch,
I'm
yeah.
giving away too. Just tell me what type of dusty stuff you want from me. It's all over here. Brian, is there any other XPW match you're looking forward to?
Who's Lou fighting?
Are you gonna? You know what?
Lou
Here's a,
Nixon is fighting Eric Dillinger.
the returning Eric Dillinger.
Yes, I'm excited for that too. There's so
Last
many good
made a-
matches, dude.
Last made a splash against Lucky 13.
Lucky
I'm
13.
happy.
Sorry, what'd you
I'm
say?
sorry. I just want to take over. I'm happy that I got to announce Eric Dillinger at ICW No Holds Barred, like probably one of my last No Holds Barred, maybe my last No Holds Barred.
40.
And then in a small kind of way, kind of bond with me. You know, Ron went first, and then me. Thought we had Eric Ryan, whatever. And then Eric Dillinger, I haven't seen him on No Holds Barred anymore, but I've now announced him. This will be the second time I'm announcing him in XPW. And when I met him at 40, I was like, yo, I hope we see you back. I hope I get to announce you a lot more because I like your name and I like your theme and I like your look. And, you know, we're together again. So I'm happy.
Yeah, that match is going to be fucking dope.
Yeah, Big Lou.
Big fucking Lou. Lucky 13 is fighting Arrow Boy. Fucking sick.
You know what's awesome about that is that Danny Havoc was the one. Drake told us not too long ago that Danny Havoc was the one who like went to Mexico and was like talking about this guy called Arrow Boy, yo, Arrow Boy, yo, we got to bring him in. And everybody knows Danny was in the Nation of Intoxication with Lucky 13, so probably one of those people that he first said, yo, this guy, we got to bring in. He's fire. All those years ago was Lucky. So it's awesome that, that match happens.
Very fucking.
Pat, don't get all quiet now. Fucking talk.
I'm listening very closely and
he doesn't follow XPW because he's lame.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, I'm very invested.
He does.
I know exactly.
He's invested in us.
You know, and there's only one question that really I have boiling, cooking in my mind. Because this time, 2 months ago, the end of May, you got us in a fracas, in a ruckus with Kid Osborne. And I want to know. And you
Kid Osborne got us in a ruckus.
Well,
I was being a fan. God damn it.
And
by
the way, the resolution of that will be on the YouTube immediately following the show with us in the chat, chatting with you as we watch it. I think, if I set it up right, I don't know. But be on the lookout. But Brian, I want to know because, you know, I don't want to ruin the ending of the Kid Osborne Tarzan match.
Right.
But I want to know if you have learned any kind of lesson, or maybe you aren't going to be as unhinged as you were at the last show that led to you getting attacked. Are you fearing any other attack? Is Kid Osborne booked on the show? I'm very concerned about if you are going to modify your behavior. If you are worried about...
Come on.
And I'm concerned about what Larry thinks about it. Brian, please, take it away, please.
Come on.
Let me start off by saying that there will never, ever be a modification of my behavior. I will always be me wherever I go. And the lesson learned is that if you're going to be a wrestler, you have to learn to get and take the heat without losing your shit. And if you can't handle it, you probably should go somewhere else.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say.
Larry, do you care to comment on this man's comments, behavior? No modification. Even after you worked yourself into a shoot that got worked into a shoot work. And then you got, you know, you reaped the consequences of your challenge. And you say you've learned nothing.
Brian,
I've learned.
You encourage a type of behavior that not everyone is responsible enough to follow in your footsteps.
I can only imagine
at a wrestling show.
The ramifications.
That's
not my problem, honestly, because I'm attending events and I'm going to attend an event like a death metal show. I crowd surf. I punch people in the mouth in the mosh pit.
Brian,
we're in a mosh pit in a wrestling show.
But Brian, you know whose problem it potentially could be? Larry Legends.
Well,
because if there's some fan that maybe doesn't like hearing about the juicy hot dogs so much, and maybe thinks like, oh, Larry looks all nice and dolled up in his nice red, or whatever, his white. Let me just throw this beer on him. Let me just boo him and throw this beer on him
Brian
because
beer.
I'm having a good time and this is XP
Brian
fucking W.
This, yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna continue, Larry.
I'm just saying. A long time ago in my career, I was encouraged to go to the gathering of the Juggalos.
The Jellos.
And someone told me the Juggalos. And someone told me, oh, you better be careful going in front of that crowd. And I was like, in front of what crowd? I've been to CZW. They're the meanest crowd of them all in Philly. And they was like, yeah, well, when Tila Tequila got up there, they threw batteries at her, like the D-volt batteries right at her while she was trying to do her fucking whatever they paid her to do. And I thought to myself, hell, I don't care if Necro and Pondo are on that show or Devin Moore. I don't know if I want to be in front of that crowd. Because that type of behavior is encouraged at the gathering. So, do what thou wilt. You know which path I follow. But just remember, your boys got to get up there and do some shit.
You have to be a knowledgeable. I'm a knowledgeable heckler.
Are you?
I feel like
But everyone is not.
Right,
that's my point.
But that's not my fault.
How about that girl out in Cali that Tessa threw the beer on?
Yeah, but that was funny. It was funny.
It's not, but it could have been bad.
It is true. Matthew McHugh, a valued member of the Boulevard Bullies Nation, does bring up a valid point saying, Pat, did you ever in your life think that there would be someone as reckless as you were in your heyday? Brian has opened up the floodgate and wants all the smoke.
Bro, give that man a round of a motherfucking applause.
Hey, you know what?
I remember Bully with I remember bare-faced Pat Bully. I remember fresh young buck to the world Pat Bully.
No.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, it was bad.
I remember.
It was bad.
It was bad. You would vomit. You would be like, by the end of the show, Pat would be there with his head in between his legs, like not moving.
Vomiting.
I'd be like, "Are you okay now?"
That was a few rare cases.
Bro, early on.
You'd maybe very early on.
Fucking shit-faced. Yeah. By the end, you'd be like,
dude, I'm trying to think. And you know what? I did have an incident.
Like trying to kiss you.
I did have an incident where I got choked out, pulled out of a show, Brian. So, you
I've only ever made friends.
Well, you did get pushed into oblivion.
Brian
Tarzan was my champion. I made him understand.
Well, yeah, and after I got choked out,
did you not see his promo? Did you see his promo? I didn't put my goddamn hands on Kid Osborne. Kid Osborne put his goddamn hands on me.
I'm not saying that I put my hands on anyone. I'm just saying that I made friends afterwards as well. It's easy to, go, well, it was a huge. It's very easy to do that.
He worked for Bull, he worked for Shane, he worked for Cass, you worked for DJ, you worked for all of the promoters. You've worked for all the promoters, and you started out by just being a fucking loudmouth.
That's right. As loud as Brian, if not louder. So that is a good
loud,
point.
obnoxious degenerates. God damn it. That's who we are as people.
You're the new age. Okay, Cornette and Paulie got involved, and Lawler all got involved taking pictures and doing pictures. You're the next generation of people that get involved this way.
You are, Brian, not me. That ship has sailed for me.
You're guilty by association.
You won't come out anymore. Pat. You won't come out anymore, Pat. That actually might be a good thing.
I don't. I'm not allowed out.
You're like Dr. Claw.
Yeah,
you're Dr.
I have sanctioned myself to the home. I can realize that I cannot be in public, so I sit here and I live vicariously
after the
through
van
you guys.
ride. After the van ride from hell, you're afraid.
Yeah, van ride from hell.
I drove very well
and beyond.
You don't want to come to blows. You're not in this game to come to blows.
No, I can't.
And correct me if I'm wrong. That's one of the only times that somebody was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up."
Well, listen.
I'll take any blow the Boulevard Bullies need, and I'll blow away.
The whole point is that I don't like leaving the house. And I certainly don't like leaving the house and having to worry about people who I need to run into.
But what about Larry?
Well, Larry,
You
listen.
remember how happy we were to see each other at the fucking Boulevard Bully backyard barbecue?
Well, that was good.
Bonanza. Yeah.
We ate pizza.
But you
man.
miss me, and I miss you. All I get to see is you in this little box.
That's what they all
Fucking
say,
little boxes.
I
here,
want to
dude.
share cigarettes with you.
Hey, I have a huge news story for you, both of you guys.
Break it.
You
What
ready?
happened?
Breaking news. Larry, I'm sure you're familiar with Warriors of Wrestling out of Staten Island.
I've actually done one show.
Well, their current champion was Darius Carter, Warriors of Wrestling. And guess who beat him? Larry, I'm going to give you one guess as to who beat Darius Carter for the Warriors of Wrestling World Staten Island World Championship.
Was it Jay Bougie?
No. So close yet so far. Brian, do you have a guess?
Rich Swan.
Wrong. It was TJ Marconi.
TJ Marconi.
He won. He took it back. He took it back from Darius Carter. Warriors of Wrestling.
That's TJ Marconi. TJ still wrestles?
Listen, TJ Marconi was an excellent wrestler when we contracted him to do our cinematic match a few years ago that failed miserably as a bomb, but he was nothing more than a professional. And I root for TJ Marconi, and he beat the evil Darius Carter.
He's the one that was doing that whole like Italian mob thing at that shit, right? He was like doing the mob boss.
Yeah, he was like the capo.
Yeah. He's funny.
He's cool.
Funny guy.
TJ Marconi and Darius Carter, they go way back.
That's what I'm saying. It's a long time feud.
They go way back to the Crusade for Change. Darius has gone on to some success. TJ, not so much. So this is clearly an ask. You understand what I'm saying about around the table and ask?
It's only a matter of time before Darius becomes the 2-time champion. But I think it's a nice gesture.
Yeah. TJ's gotten quite larger than back in his... I
don't know about that. I mean...
I think he's gotten a bit bigger. Y'all, there's Roman Reigns started to get the Superman punch over with TJ Marconi at a Long Island SmackDown off camera.
No.
Yep. TJ was a security guard.
Where is the footage?
Off camera. Dude, it's on there. TJ, it was the start of the Superman punch being a thing. And Roman gave it to him at the Nassau Coliseum when TJ was a lot more svelte, still tall as shit, and was playing a security guard.
Roman didn't even have a finisher before that. They was just doing the triple power bomb, right? The Shield had just the fucking power bomb.
He was starting to get his sea legs under him, as we say, if you will, with what that felt like and looked like. Then they wanted a big target. So he gave it to TJ while TJ was security guard. I think there was a pull apart, or they were trying to calm him down. The rest of the security powdered, or Roman beat the shit out of the rest of them. And then TJ was the last security guard in the ring, like, hey, calm down. I need you to calm down. Calm down. Roman's pacing and whatnot. And then he just fucking gave it to him, and TJ did a big sell. But that was the closest he ever got to the big time.
What's his name? Just a security guard on Raw? Joey Conway, our friend Joey,
friend of the program.
Well,
Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar threw him into oblivion like Tarzan pushed me.
Well, NYWC is connected.
Yes.
There's no it's like in plain sight. Like a whole Masonic thing, like the New York Wrestling Connection.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they are. That's why I'm mad you're not affiliated no more, Pat. You were drinking too much on the job.
Well, I was influenced.
Yeah, I know.
I was encouraged and influenced.
Yeah, the new guy.
I had a
the
bunch
new
of
guy
fun
came
times, dude. I had a few fun times going to that area in what was it?
Dude, we started Deer Park. We
Deer
started
Park.
Aaron Kaplan's career in the wrestling business. We bought his ass.
Dude,
in
Aaron
the
Kaplan's
ring.
a funny fuck. That guy makes me laugh.
Yeah, he has some of you. Yeah,
He
he
talks
makes me
like
laugh.
Rodney Dangerfield the way he talks. He's just like a walking cartoon.
Yeah,
He's funny as fuck.
I love his breathing on commentary.
Dude, Holy Moly Cannoli is my favorite thing of all time.
I'm sure it is, Brian. Hey,
Dude,
do you
he's
guys
funny.
have, speaking of Friends of the Bullies, do you have thoughts on Billy Gunn taking his boots off and retiring? Any Billy Gunn impressions or memories? Before you guys keep making me talk about things I fucking hate.
Well, hold on. Can I?
Please do.
How about when you and original bully Steve wanted to grab some exclusive?
gracious.
Larry.
How about when you and original bully Steve wanted to grab some exclusive footage?
Oh my God! This is before I even wound up announcing Billy Gunn. This is years before that.
Can I finish?
Please.
Can I finish? When you and Boulevard Bully, original bully Steve, wanted to grab some, I don't know, whatever, and you said, Larry, can you please ask Billy Gunn if he would be willing to give like Boulevard Bullies a shout out real quick? And I, with my most humble voice of all, asked Billy Gunn to do it. And he said, hold on just 1 second. And then he did something for Mike Verna and the whatever, I don't know, Staten Island, Brooklyn Police Department, whatever.
Fucking Staten Island, always.
Yeah, or something. And like, he was like, he like looked at me and was like, for them, I'll do it. And then like turned around and walked away. There's my Billy Gunn memory. There's my Monty Sop memory.
You know,
and then you guys were like, oh, sorry, Larry, that happened. Sorry that you, sorry that he fucking sunned you
yeah,
for
he sunned
Verna.
you
And
for
Verna,
us. Yeah.
And Verna came up and was like, hey man, you know, I'm a cop. He said like, I'm a cop. Yeah, I was like, all right, bro, whatever. I don't give a
fuck. Years later, I would announce Billy Gunn an outlaw, and I approved with the boss. I said, hey, I want to announce Billy Gunn as accompanied to the ring by the greatest theme song ever written, ever. 12 time, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
I remember this.
And I actually did it. And actually, at the end of the match, when his music played, Austin Gunn was there. He wasn't even a wrestler. He was like a training guy who, like, jerked the curtain that night. And I sang Ass Man with Austin Gunn at this show with, like, 100 people at it. It was awesome.
Yeah. You have done a lot.
Well, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying that's a fond memory from my life.
Well, look, I can talk about times that I've announced Billy Gunn too.
Well, I have fewer times, so it's a cherished memory.
But Pat, if you will stop for a second and let me jiggle your balls, you can even say that you're in the same breath as me and MLJ, because I know MLJ has definitely announced
Larry.
Billy Gunn. That's what I'm saying, dude. And you won't even come out of the house.
Pat doesn't want to go to the house.
He doesn't
want to be put in the same class as you. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, did you guys see that?
Did
you guys see that Shotzi Blackheart shaved her head?
You didn't even ask me my Billy Gunn favorite moment.
Oh, Brian, what's your Billy Gunn favorite moment?
Bro,
do you care? Is it because I'm Jewish?
No, Brian, how dare you?
Okay, God damn it. It's when, do you remember King of the Ring 1999?
Of course.
When Billy Gunn won, and there was like DX turmoil, and I loved it a lot. That's it.
That's such a young person's memory.
In 1999,
well, I'm younger than you because you're old man.
That's such a young person's memory.
How old were you in 99? 13? 14? How old were you in 99?
Me?
Yeah.
I was 9.
Yeah,
dude, I was 9. I was 8 years old. In 1998 is when I stopped believing in Santa.
Me too.
In 1999, in 1999, I became a New Yorker. I became a New Yorker the year you were born, the year the Dreamcast came out.
The year I was born
That's
was
when I moved
1990.
You were born in 1990, so yeah, I'm sorry.
Dreamcast came out in 1999, right?
That's when I moved to New York.
Got it.
When Billy Gunn won the King of the Ring.
It's a good goddamn year.
It's a shit year, Brian. Hey, did you see that Willow versus Athena was the main event of a Ring of Honor pay-per-view? For the first time in their 21-year history, they had a female wrestling match, and NYWC's own Willow Nightingale was in the main event. First time 21 years.
And why, to the chat, do you think that in all of their history, this was the first time they ever did anything like that? What can the chat chime in on why they think that for the first time ever in history that Ring of Honor did anything like that? Pat, is anyone looking at the chat?
Well,
do
the
y'all
chat.
have any chime-ins? Because I know the answer. But I'm just curious.
Okay.
Anyone know?
You know the answer. The chat is on a little bit of a delay, so we're going to let them throw their answers in. We're going to get back to it. Hey, did you hear that Orange Cassidy was now an agent in AEW as well as a wrestler? But yet Bret Hart offered to be an agent, and they turned him down and said they only want him as an on-television manager. Care to comment, Larry? Care to comment, Brian?
I don't really care about that.
Hey, did you hear that Matt Cardona won the DDT Universal Championship, but he came out in Japan with what appeared to be one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship titles, and everybody online flipped out about it. Everybody online flipped out about it, and then Chelsea Green had to post a video saying it was a replica. I'm sitting here with the real title. It was just a replica. Larry, you're laughing. Care to comment?
Oh, God. First, I want to comment on that last thing that I just kind of like sucked wind.
No, we're teasing it. We're going to do that right after this comment.
All right. That's funny as shit. That's funny as shit that Cardona trolled WWE.
It's just a replica.
By being like, oh, yeah, you know. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
I live with her, so she's not that she's like my. I mean, we're gonna fuck around with y'all if we want to.
What if she got in trouble though? What if she got in trouble? That's not cool. If she got.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Take the tag titles off her and fire her.
You're gonna fire her? Fire her? Okay, AW. Or she'll come with me and grow even stronger.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Matt Cardona is probably the most successful independent wrestler right now, bar none.
Nick Gage.
Really? You think it's more? I guess Nick Gage is the only signed independent wrestler. He's the only one with a contract.
He's getting $1,000 per appearance.
Wow.
Listen, don't worry about what my sources are. Just know that I have my finger on the pulse, all right? I have my sources, and if I say that a thing is happening and I have it here in my notes for the show, it is happening, all right? That's all you got to worry about. Hey, you know what I was excited about? I know this is so stupid, but John Silver, you remember, Larry, John Silver, when he was in the CZW title picture back in the day, he fought Matt Tremont, and he did the kick pad thumbtack spot long before the Young Bucks did their fucking sneaker thumbtack spot. And they finally let John Silver do it in Ring of Honor the other week. And it just made me think, you know who's cool? John Silver. Larry, care to comment? NYWC graduate, I think, as well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think
Thank
John
you.
Silver's
Brian?
he's underrated as fuck, and that whole Dark Order thing was really sick and became like a shitty
I
show.
didn't see him do it, but I'm glad he got to do it.
Dude, the thumbtack shoe was dope.
He did a thumbtack kick pad and kick two in the face.
Oh, the kick pad. It was the kick pad, right?
Okay, and who did he kick in the face with it?
You got to ask Pat for that.
Doesn't matter.
Vincent, I believe. I think it was like the White Pants guys against the Dark Order in Ring of Honor.
You know what? Great. And I'm glad that you segued from a Matt Cardona to a John Silver because, again, we go right back to full circle, the New York Wrestling Connection. And their roots are very deep. Silver Mark Sterling, Tony Nese, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers,
MJF?
even MJF.
MJF
Well,
at first. MJF at first.
MJF is technically Wrestle Pro, but Wrestle Pro in itself
Jew,
is an
a fellow
extension
Jew.
of
Create a
NYWC.
pro.
Create a pro. It's all NYWC of an extension. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a as much as there's a contingent of New England guys that have kind of like taken over, there's a hell of a lot of Long Island guys, a lot of which Pat and I know very well.
All right, Larry, now we want to get back to the answer to your question before.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. It was something that made
It was
me
about
go,
why Willow was
Why
in the
do
middle.
you
yeah, what did the chat say? Did anyone in the chat
Well,
say
I'm
anything?
going to read it to you. I have not even vetted these. Ring of Honor usually had no more than 2 women on the card, which was more women than were in the audience. Adam Suzan, classic follower. What else do we have? Pat's sources are in the shadows. All right, that's the only comment we have.
All right, it's all good. It's all good.
So what is the answer, Larry? You said you had it. Why did Ring of Honor make Willow and Athena the main event after 21 years?
Can I guess? Can I guess? Can I take a guess?
Please, Brian. I'm sure
Because they're trying to be woke. They're trying to be a woke company and have women be their main event as other people are doing to be popular.
Not only are they posturing, for lack of a better phrasing, but they're also like being like, hey, look at the old Ring of Honor that would never do anything like this. Do you see Tony Khan's Ring of Honor where we have Willow, you know, a black girl?
Yeah, but she
wrestling.
is awesome. She's also one of the best women's wrestlers out there right now.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of awesome women that they could have done that with in Ring of Honor when it was either Sinclair or Carrie's, and they never did. Very
true.
You know, they could have done that with Sarah Del Rey, Simi Sakai. They did a lot with Simi. They eventually created a Women of Honor division, which is dead now, but you know, they did some stuff. But a main event, oh no, it had to be bought by Tony Khan before we could do some progressive shit like this. So that's why. But Adam is right. They never really had many women.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my devil's advocate comment to that would be like, yeah, maybe it's performative, but it's still being performed. You know, like maybe Tony Khan's heart, maybe he's not like, you know what I mean? Maybe he's being performative, but at least it's happening. You know what I mean? Like at least it's dope.
I'm all for it.
You know,
I'm all for it.
not to say it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like even a performative action.
It wouldn't be an it if it was happening before. It's an it because that's what it, like people made it.
But at least it's an action. At least it's something happening.
I'm with you, Pat. I'm with you. His history has been made. But, and maybe this isn't a bad thing. It is one more erasure of the roots of what the whole Ring of Honor was about. And I'm sorry, it was a man thing back in the day. You know, it was a long time before they even had like Daisy Hayes and Mischief involved in Ring of Honor, you know? So it's just the nature of the beast. You don't have to like it, but also at the end of the day, you can't just like start to like erase shit to be like, you know, like Halloween.
These woke fucks
you know what I mean? Like Halloween, like portraying Michael Myers is like some sort of like weak ass shit that needs some new kid to help him kill and does double team murder.
Did that happen?
Michael?
Did that happen in
bro,
Larry, if that happens now because
started,
you've spoken into existence.
Don't even get me started. But they've got to like kind of like retcon what we saw and fell in love with to be like, yeah, but now it's a new world. And these kids need to see a Michael that's like weak. Because they're weak people.
Man, it's gonna be a Michelle. It's gonna turn into a Michelle.
Oh boy.
Oh God, Brian, why did you even say
I
that?
wish Sean was here.
This is the goddamn hole we're going down. God damn
I
it!
wish Sean was here. Jesus Christ.
I never even thought of anything like that.
I wish Sean would.
You're talking about
I would
Michael
never
Myers
be
on
surprised. He's
RuPaul's
gonna have a
Drag
sister.
Race.
He's gonna have a. Yo, shout out Jimbo. Shout out Jimbo for winning RuPaul's Drag Race, dude.
Oh wow, Jimbo won.
All stars.
Like, yeah,
Jimbo's
that's
the
awesome.
shit. Fuck
That's
yeah.
funny. I for whatever reason I haven't been able to watch lately, so I'm
Dude,
glad
it
to
was my
find that
favorite
out.
thing. Shout out Candy
Yeah,
Muse too.
awesome.
Runner up. Candy
Brian,
Muse.
Brian,
runner
just
up.
because you watch RuPaul's Drag Race doesn't make the horrible things you say any
His
better.
wife, okay, all right, is with it.
All right,
We're
but
with
it
it,
doesn't
dude.
make it doesn't make you.
We
It
love
doesn't
that
make
shit.
you a better
Are you
person.
watching Drag Race?
No,
Pat?
I don't need to watch Drag Race to prove something to
I'm not
anybody.
proving shit. I actually enjoy it. I like it.
I'm
I
sure
enjoy
you do, Brian.
Dragula is
Dude,
way more
dude, Dragula's
XPW.
my shit.
I'm
Dragula
just
is way
saying.
more XPW.
I'm just saying, Brian, that doesn't
RuPaul
make,
is
that doesn't
WWE.
excuse you. That doesn't excuse your behavior, Brian.
I'm
That's all
not
I'm
trying
saying.
to make excuses. I'm just
Well,
saying that
he doesn't
I
need
enjoy
Like
the
you
show.
kind of shoehorned it in
guys,
there.
I didn't
Give
shoehorn.
for-
Larry
give
brought
this-
up Drag Race. I shouted it out.
Dark
Guys, look
side.
at what you could win.
Hey, that is a great. Hey, you know what? There are so many prizes that you could win.
So many
All you
Christmas
gotta do is
prizes.
Donate $1 and tell us what you
$5.
want.
Get 2
$5.
cards. Do we not have a lot of people watching? I feel like
It's been a
Oakland's the
slow.
only
It's
person
because
that's-
it's Christmas. It's Christmas and
Yeah, a
it's
lot of people are on
quiet,
Hey,
vacation.
I know what I'm doing.
It's a silent night tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you want to, it is. Sean's not here.
That's what
Sean
it is.
brings the
That's what
people.
it is.
Sean
He
brings the viewers,
people.
dude. It's not
The
me.
dog
It's not
brings-
me.
He brings me gente.
Hey,
He brings me gente.
Kanye does vomino.
Sorry, y'all. They're probably like Larry's yelling at Pat.
Dude, that was a good. That was a
we
good
have
bit.
gotten a
Why
lot
are
of
you
fan
so-
mail. We have gotten a lot of fan mail that I'm in an abusive relationship with Larry.
Well, you're
Yeah.
my son, and
I
you know I'm
didn't-
gonna.
you know,
one of
and-
the
and
games
listen,
I
you
used
know,
to.
I wasn't going to
Well,
bring it up.
Dad's
I
here.
denied it. I didn't respond. I didn't even address those issues. Those issues don't even exist in my mind. So Larry can point at me and yell at me as much as he wants. It's part of the show.
Do you know that I used to play a game at my daycare called The Abusive Father?
Oh, abuse the kids.
Well, what would happen was I would
Brian,
have the
stop
kids
it.
like.
Stop it, Brian.
This is
All right?
from.
This is not
weekend.
this is not your window to put your segregated signs
Let
up.
Brian do what he wants to do.
People love it. They want their section.
Boricua section, MAGA section, Jewish section, Boulevard
one more.
Bullies section. Is there an LGBTQ plus section?
Oh, I should make it though.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
there's got to be a section for the body and the body's boyfriend, the BBC.
Well,
of
no, if
XPW.
they're actually that people have actually
Brian, I just
followed
think
me.
you're-
There is somebody that has made a body section sign that is not me that will be in the crowd.
Wow.
That we're bringing the people
Well,
together.
listen,
God damn
I'm not
it!
against you making an LGBTQ plus sign. I'm just saying, like, you might be dabbling into sign segregations. God equals dog. Brian,
That's for
Brian, that is one of the most profound fucking signs I have ever seen, bro.
this is what happens. This is what happens when you guys don't let me look at my phone.
That
You don't let me look at my
sign-
phone.
That's for Drake Younger.
Have
This sign's
you
for
already
Drake
shared
Younger.
that
If
in
Drake
the
Younger
chat?
comes out, this is for Drake.
Am
Oh
I
my
just
God.
seeing this for the first time?
Yeah, I
Did you
haven't
share
shown
this in the
this.
chat?
No.
Bro, that sign is legend. Bro,
Oh, this will be
I
there.
love it. I love that sign. I love that sign.
I made
I
everybody
love that
hype.
sign.
That's what we
Viva
do.
la
We
XP,
make
yeah.
people. This was Larry's idea.
You know that one right there.
I'm gonna have prolapse his ass too.
Do you want it? Do you want it for Arrow Boy for that one right there? Do you want it for Arrow Boy? Can we do like a light green, a red, and a white? Can we for Arrow Boy?
Outline it. Yes.
Can we hue that? Yeah,
I'll hue it. I'll
For-
hue the fuck out of it, Larry.
Yeah, for Arrow Boy. Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, for Arrow Boy.
I mean, Brian, those are some
And Pat,
pretty-
you don't want to come out and play.
No, I like to. I need to save my money. You know, it's quite a difficult journey.
Dude,
for me.
all my money's
I
gone.
understand.
I'm like the opposite of a Jew. I can't save my money or be cheap. All I do is spend it all.
You just can't stop spending.
I love spending money and getting things and doing fun shit.
Wow. You know what? God bless you, Brian. That's a good mantra.
Pat, show your thing that you're giving for the giveaways.
I'm giving my mug. I'm giving away this All the Heathers Are Dying original microplastic shrinked CD. I also have my hat and my goggles from the video that is premiering right after this episode. We got the goggles.
So basically, Brian knows what the people want.
We got the hat. Ho ho ho!
I am one of the people, and that's what I want.
It's the holiday.
People to go crazy.
It's the holiday episode.
Pat, we're in the business. We don't know what the people want. We just know how to watch.
Well, listen,
we have these
I'm just
two
happy
stressed boobs that we're also giving away for Christmas.
I'm just happy to be a guy who's interviewing a few guys who are in the business. You know what I mean? That's basically this show. It's me at home interviewing a few guys in the business. That's how we're going to keep it. Brian, keep squeezing this. Guys, I can't believe
it's for Christmas,
you guys,
dude.
the viewers at home actually
I'm stressed.
They're the ones who've ruined Christmas in July. We went out of our way to give away like 15 things, including a medal that Larry won at kickboxing, silver medal. And all we have is $10 for the book. I'm ashamed. The Christmas spirit.
Look at these. Would this make things better?
Bunch of fucking Hanukkah humbugs in here. Are you kidding me?
Stop! Don't even do that, Larry. They're not even worth it, Larry.
Dude, hold on. Look, hold on. I want to tell a story. The only way I got these was I found them. Okay?
On the floor?
When I was in listen. When I was in ICW, these were never given to me. I was never like a part of the crew. But it just so happens that last year at the circus, I found these.
He was the only one that cared about you, didn't you know, Larry? He's the only one that cared.
Well, Packing Princess was the one that distributed these, so we already know how she felt about me. But I'm just saying, I have them. I'll sign them. Donate. Get the ICW No Holds Barred Deathmatch Circus last year, 2022 weekend passes. Look at that. Look at that.
Crap.
I'll sign them and I'll send them to you.
Holy shoot.
I don't give a fuck.
And you could get Brian's bouncing balls as well with them. Squeeze.
They're stress boobs. Are you stressed? You need boobs.
Let me tell you something.
Jesus
I got
Christ.
all types of shit. Look at that. Whoa, low battery. Hold on.
Don't even do that, Larry. Don't even show any more of your stuff.
Look at that.
Christmas is over for these.
Do you see that, Bri?
Creeps.
Hanukkah. Who is that?
Matt Riddle's Bloodsport.
Oh, Matt Riddle.
Wow, look at that. Is that a hand-drawn? Wow. That's really nice.
It's mine.
We don't like Matt Riddle on this show.
We don't stand the Riddle?
We don't like Matt Riddle, no. We're not allowed to talk about it, though.
Brian, you like everybody.
Sorry about bringing him up.
You like everybody, Brian.
Hey!
Final thoughts from each of you about your upcoming week.
This Saturday, Newark, New Jersey, XPW, I Hope You Die. Myself, Larry Legend, hopefully Ringside Sean, Blvd Bullies merchandise, Larry Legend merchandise. It's going to be for sale. There's going to be a crucifixion. There's going to be a fucking intergalactic fuck fest, and we're going to lose our minds.
Look up.
I'm here.
Look up while Brian's talking. Okay?
I'm here.
Look the fuck
Sorry,
up.
I was just changing and looking at.
I
was trying to look at some audio levels. I was looking at some audio levels.
When Brian is cutting a promo, you look.
Thank you, Larry.
I was just looking. I was making sure his audio.
That was the end of it.
I was just making sure his audio was good. Yeah, I was just looking down at the audio. Go ahead.
Brian, I resound everything that Brian just said. We're going to be in Newark, New Jersey at the Hard Ballroom for XPW. I Hope You Die. It is going to be, and I quote, a shit fucking good time in Newark. I hope we don't get carjacked, and I will see everyone over at the Newark Cheesesteak Hut.
Is that a thing?
It's right across the street. Well, right across the street is a Dunkin', but up the street and across is the Cheesesteak Hut. And I like chicken tenders.
Thank you guys both for those final comments. And I just want to say, if you're sitting at home and you like chicken tenders or anything else concerning pro wrestling, I want to thank you for watching the show. Oh, wait, hold on. Stop it 1 second. Go ahead, Larry.
I just look, last Come on, I threw these in at the last minute because I felt like normally we get a little bit more support donation wise. Urka always good for something, but guys, for all this shit, tax out of my feet.
Out of the Tootsies.
Brian, do you have the snow?
Come on. Get this shit for $1.
Hey, and you know what? If you're watching this post haste, a lot of people watch after we record. You could go ahead and DM us. DM Blvd Bullies.
Say I want the passes.
Yeah, and say that you want the passes. And if not...
Yeah, I never write anything down, and it's a big mistake because we're back. We've never even corrected corrections because we were supposed to figure out who got the last time's super chats.
Well, Brian, you are the merch guy, and you are responsible for that.
Was there any deathmatch drama? No? Can we close with that, any?
Brian, is there...
Right.
Brian, is there any deathmatch drama?
There's been no drama, honestly. It's been because since I've brought the people together, there's been so much less drama that the Blvd Bullies, there's nothing to talk shit about.
Wow.
My fiance,
so you fixed
Amanda's here.
You fixed it.
I fixed the problem. Everybody says hello.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching Blvd Bullies versus the World. Just want to give a shout out to all our enemies. By any means necessary, please feel free to eat shit, die slow, low road, blvdbullies.bigcartel.com. Out of time. Bye-bye.